Hey guys, what is up? Author Michaela Jade here with another episode of Tidbits and Scribbles. Now, disclaimer, if you noticed my arms are a little bit red, that's because a lot of me is a little bit red. Went fishing, forgot sunblock, my bad, won't do it again. Trust me. That out of the way, let's get on with Tidbits and Scribbles, which is a proud part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. I cannot say enough about this group of people, which includes Amy Hale, Nicholas Tockert, Brian K. Morris, Ted Davies, Joe Dog McKeel, Dan Hollifield. There are so many people in this network that are just here to help each other rise above, help other people rise in their careers and their creative endeavors. It's just a fantastic network to be a part of. So if you don't know the Rising Tide Network, or if you're not familiar with it, get familiar with it. Look it up on Facebook, look it up on YouTube. Find Brian K. Morris when you're not watching Tidbits and Scribbles or Michaela Jade's Motivational Mornings, and learn all about the Rising Tide. I promise it's a safe place. It's a fantastic place, and you will get so much out of it. We have like Tidbits and Scribbles where you can learn about the writing craft. We have shows that are just shooting the breeze, just having a good time, just cutting loose. We have shows that are all about being creative and interviews with creative people and how they got where they are and what that they do. And so just join the Rising Tide, and subscribe so you don't ever miss our shows. The single best thing you can do is subscribe, because it tells the algorithms that be that this is a show you like. This is a show you would support. So YouTube helps with that. And then they will show you other shows like ours that you might like and enjoy. And so subscribe. If you find any part of this broadcast that you love, subscribe, please. The other thing is my sponsor for this month is Acuff Creations and Keisha Acuff. Find her on YouTube. Ask for her info through my YouTube or Facebook or any of it. Just reach out. I will get you in touch with Keisha if you can't find her on my Facebook page, but I promise you can find her. Now, the next thing I wanted to tell you all about is my newsletter. I would like some more subscribers for my newsletter. If you want to know about everything that I'm doing, Tidbits and Scribbles, Morning Motivation, my books that are coming out or books that are already out, you want to join an ARC team or a beta team. If you don't know what those are, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to be on the newsletter. The newsletter is going to tell you all of those things, plus more. The newsletter, you might find a deleted scene out of a book that I'd left out or had to leave out, because as you know, Warrior's Secret went through a publisher. So there was a lot the publisher wouldn't let me put in, even if I wanted it in there. So sometimes you'll get tidbits of those. Sometimes you might get a friend is having a sale on her books or his books. They might be running a Kickstarter. You might learn what a Kickstarter is. So there's all kinds of things in the newsletter that might be interesting to you. So sign up. It's a fun time, I promise. For those of you that have asked how dark or how naughty my books get, my newsletter is called Notes from an Info, if that gives you any clue. And yes, there's some naughty parts in the newsletter. It's not safe for work. It's not safe for children. So, you know, there's your disclaimer. Okay, so for Tidbits and Scribbles tonight, I wanted to start with, since we're doing this on Monday nights now, get your notebooks out, kids, because you're going to need it. Okay, Tidbits and Scribbles, one of the first Mondays that I've got going here. I've heard a theory that really resonated with me, and through some searching, I realized it's really what I do. Ed Milet is one of the motivational speakers that I follow, and I listen to throughout my day. One of the things he said was, break your day up make it 3 days, not 1 day. His theory is that you can get 3 days in 1 day. And here's his theory. His theory is 1 day is from 6 to noon. The next day is from noon to 6. And then your third day is from 6 to midnight. Okay? So he's suggesting that within those chunks of time, you actually can do 24 hours worth of work. Now, can you? That's up for debate. The theory, however, really resonated with me because I have found that in my day. So my day goes from, we'll break it up differently. So from 4 a.m. to 11 a.m., I get a lot of stuff done. So then from 11 to 4, I thought about it and I thought, well, heck, that's after lunch. I, again, get a lot of stuff done that most people might only get done that stuff that I did in the afternoon in a whole day. So the theory is solid because then the next segment of the day would be 6 to midnight. Well, that's the time that for me, I'm home with my family. I might be doing some gardening. I might be doing some writing. I might be shooting my bow. I might be, I've got all kinds of hobbies. So I might be doing one of my other hobbies. I might be just relaxing with the family. But from 6 to midnight, he suggests, is a whole nother day. And I thought, well, honest to God, yeah. It kind of seems that way. So then I really pulled back and I looked at what I do in my life and my routine. And so here's how it goes for me. So from 4 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's pretty much a day's work. Like if I quit at 11 a.m., I could say, yeah, I did a day's worth of work in that 6-hour time frame. So then I thought, well, does that mean that I slack off the rest of the day? No, absolutely not. So from 11 to 4 p.m., I got a lot more done. That's like the end of my day. That's I have a few more things to do at work. I am usually getting the truck back to the shop, closing things down, making sure the battery packs are plugged in for the backpacks, or if a battery needs to be on a charger, it's on it. So I'm closing down my day for my day job, and I'm headed home, where I might run an errand before I get home, or when I get home, I might start dinner. I might figure out what the kids are doing for school and go from there. So that's a whole nother group of stuff that always happens in the afternoon. So you could say that's a whole nother day. So Ed's theory isn't all that far-fetched. So then you think about, well, then there's the third segment of the day. What are you doing? That, for me, right there, that chunk of time is my time. Okay, now when I call it my time, you might think, I'm not paying attention to my family, I'm neglecting something else. No, not at all. Because remember that 11 to 4 time slot? In that time slot, I've done a lot of things. I've made phone calls, I've figured out what we need to do for dinner, I might have figured out what the kids need to do for homework, gotten the kids to some lesson or another. So I'm always spending time with family. But for me, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., because I'm not staying up till midnight, I get up at 4. Okay, so I've adjusted these times to work for me, and you can do the same for you. Just figure out what it is that works, but go in these segments of time. So for me, it's from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. That time right there is where I'm doing my stuff. Now, it's my job to block out some of that time between 4 and 10 p.m. to be very productive on my creative endeavors. That's when I have time to shine. That's when I have time to sit in front of the computer and videotape Tidbits and Scribbles, or videotape the next thing coming up, or sit down and figure out my schedule for cons, or, lo and behold, write books. I will be honest, lately I haven't had time, or told myself I haven't had time. Well, what am I doing between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. that I can't write books? The answer is absolutely nothing. I've put it off because I have all these other hobbies and interests and things to do. And I told myself that the dishes needed done and the laundry needed done. And I needed to clean my office. And I needed to clean my bedroom. And there's things to do. And I just haven't found time. And it's all lies. It's all lies. All that stuff can be done another time, another day, or God forbid the kids can do their chores and I don't have to do them. So think about your day, break it down into segments, and maybe not call it a day if that's too overwhelming, because it can be. There's a lot to get done in one day. But think about your time frames. Think about, how much do I get done between 6 a.m. and noon? How much do I get done between noon and 6? And how can you, if you found times in there where there's extra time or you're slacking off and you know it, figure out a way that you can use that time productively to get your stuff done. Because you and I both know, we know where we slack off. We see it. Now, is sitting watching a TV show with my husband slacking off? Not necessarily. Now, if I did that 4 times in the week when I know that I've got a deadline looming, yeah, that's slacking off. I tend to do that and then wait until like the deadline is looming and oh, there's the pressure, and then I get it done. I could say I'm a procrastinator, but I'm not. I could say I like the pressure of the deadline, but I don't really. I get snippy with people. I'm not a fun person when I get snippy. So these are all things to work on. And if I can carve out these chunks of time, or I can look at that chunk of time like, okay, this is what this time is for, I can be more productive. I know that between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m., it's work. It's motivational mornings, and then I'm off to the day job. That's it. That's all there is to it. I cannot fit anything else in there. Maybe a phone call. That's it. Maybe an email. But it's got to be one. At the most 2. I can't have 5 or 6 phone calls, 5 or 6 emails that I have to do for my second job, my creative job, my writing job. I have to be focused on my day job. But from, say, noon to 6, that's different. That's the day job is winding down. Like I said, then there's more wiggle room there. Now between 6 and midnight, as they've suggested here, or for me, from 4 to 10, I can sit down and I can say, family, listen, after dinner, I have to run in and I have to be in my office and I've got to get some stuff done. They won't bother me. They just won't. After 10 p.m., I can be, I can say goodnight, I can, do all the nighttime routine, and then go to bed and start the day all over again and really get stuff done. So write this all down, break your day into 3, Ed Milet calls it 3 days. It's not really days, so don't get overwhelmed, but 3 segments. And see if in those segments there's something that maybe you can tweak, maybe something you can take out, or maybe there's time in there that you're slacking and you're like, there's my time to write, there's my time to paint, there's my time to work on the creative endeavors that I've just been putting off and telling myself I didn't have time to do, when really the time is staring you in the face, you're just not using it appropriately. So check your schedule, write these things down. Next week's Tidbits and Scribbles, we'll check in. We'll see, do you need to tweak your time? Is there something that isn't working that you need advice on? So tune in next week for Tidbits and Scribbles as well. Between now and then, sign up for my newsletter. Find the Rising Tide on YouTube. And if you want to, talk to me about being a sponsor. Just like Keisha with Acuff Creations, you too can be a sponsor of Tidbits and Scribbles. And you can be a sponsor for the month, for the week, for the 1 episode, whatever it is that you decide. We will work that out. Just contact me through Facebook Messenger is the best way. Or send me an email at michaela.jade1981@gmail.com. And I will get to you just as soon as I get that email. I check my emails every night, not every morning as some gurus tell you to do. So I will get with you the next day. With that, I will tell you guys to check out the next show on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, because there's always something you can learn from the one of us at the network, if not all of us. So keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the ideas coming, and I will catch you on the flip flop.